I can grab a couple cobalt jewels and give him a slap. Give him a little bit of a slap. Well, if I end up swapping to wands later, which is likely, I should check dual wield ones, but... Spell damage, global fizz? No. No. Well, res is nice. Cast speed with lightning skills. Burning damage. I'm gonna run out of scours. Mind damage, damage over time. That's actually pretty good together. Probably would have been worth regaling for selling. Spell damage or dual wielding crit multi. Burning damage. Rip. Lightning damage. Crit multiplier for spells. Life. Ooh. Very nice. Normally I wouldn't try and regal into life, but I was feeling a little bit YOLO. Life is such an important stat for Jules. Normally you're going to ult until you get life and something else decent and then regal, but if like crit multi is a pretty nice stat, and I like to YOLO the regals for when situations like this happen, even though they don't happen very often. But that's a good one. That's a good one right there. I would even consider putting like a Leo Exalt on this at some point. I'm not going to Exalt it myself though. Otherwise, just slamming it with a Vital Orb for Corrupting Blood. If you get Corrupting Blood, that's like huge money. But since I already have Corrupting Blood immunity and I need a jewel right now, I'm literally just going to use it because that's a nice jewel. Spell damage, crit chance, fast start of energy shield. That's almost good. Life, attack, and cast speed. There we go. Strength and dex. That's good enough to corrupt. It rerolled into cast speed, life, spell damage while holding a shield, lightning res. With 7 life. That works. Okay, alright. I need to roll something in like 10 ults here. It might have to be kind of meh. Oh boy. Energy shield bleed build? Totally. Oh, life. Cast speed. Damage. It worked. Last ult. Sick. So this is an interesting one for us to explore here, because what we can do is I can show you how to try and find craftable items like this. So we start a trade search up. So we go wand, we type stat filter. So we can look for this one. Now we could do, there's a few ways we could do this. So one way is to go, rarity is up here. You can go magic, and then it'll be just base drops like this. So that's like a crafting base there, right? Like we just find a good base. So we could look for opal wands, for example. I kind of wish there was a way to do a multi-item based search. So there's one AFK there. Profane wand is also pretty good. The ones that are unpriced, it's been up for six days. We'd just be like 3 cows. Bonjour. Oh, bonjour, baguette profane. Des Tacati. Please, could I have your baguette profane? Baguette can mean stick, rod in French, so I guess a wand is a baguette. The other method is to search for rares that have this affix, and open crafting slots, and otherwise potentially good affixes. You can get some pretty decent cheap ones that way. So if this is not going to function for us, we can go any. And we can go... What would be the affix we'd most want to craft onto a wand? Let's have a look. So we can put spell damage on. We can put... So this one... Well, that one's actually spell damage out of count, so we probably can't put spell damage on. But we can put like flat lining, which is actually pretty good. Alternatively, you can do cast speed. That's pretty expensive for high-end cast speed roll. Double damage. Crit multiplier if there's a rare or unique enemy nearby is always pretty good. So we can go like this. Crafted. No. Rares. So we can do crit multi. We could look for crit multi. Let's try that. Multiplier. Global critical strike multiplier. Say like 30-ish. Start there. We'll just work our way up step by step. Look for a wand to craft with. So we could start here. We could go cast speed with crit multi. That'd be pretty wild. It'll bring up a lot of profane ones, but it'll also bring up some like this. So that's like Cast speeds. What cast speed is that? Of talent. It's like do 14 cast speed. So it's only bringing up the profane ones. Cast speed's probably not going to be worth messing with on here. Plus to spells, plus lightning. Lightning spell, skill gems. Okay. That's like invoking wand, no implicit. Rip. Cold damage, cast speed. This one has... I wasn't looking with open affix, was I? No, this is like Tacatis Wand, so it's basically like a done one. And I did say I was going to craft all my gear, so I can't just buy a finished wand. That's cheating. There's also just generic skill gems. Lightning spell skill gems, cold chaos fire, spell skill gems. That craft gets a lot more expensive, apparently. I think I like the idea of doing multiplier, and then do... What do we want most? So if we got the multi, then we do like open prefix. So we can go empty prefix modifiers, 1. And then we have some suckers here, potentially. So this one's got a little bit of cast speed on it for 10C. This one's actually got lightning to spells on it. So this has got spell damage and lightning. If we get that, it's got crit multi. It has an open suffix and an open prefix, oddly enough. It's actually a pretty flexible wand for 10C. I'm going to buy that. Crit chance for spells suffix. Yeah, can you mastercraft that? Or do you have to have it initially? Yeah, you can get up to 69%, which is actually not too bad, because 80 is like pretty good on a wand, so 69 is not too low. Okay, so we bought this wand. This is a Tacatis Wand, and actually this is a good recommendation for weapons in general this league. Look for Tacati mod gear, because there's a lot of it dropping from Metamorphs in particular, and the affixes are very strong. Like, the physical one for physical weapons is like a top tier increased physical damage. And if you like, augur eagle some decent stats onto that, or, get something that you can maybe like have a little bit of a play with mastercrafting wise. So we bought this one for 10C, right? Like that's actually not a bad one right now for 10C. So we got this as this is just something that's dropped from a random metamorph like this, basically. Guy threw on his 10C tab. It's got crit multi, great. Tier 1 crit multi, in fact. And then Tier 3 lightning damage to spells, which could be a little better, but it's not a huge deal. And this is very flexible. This actually has an open prefix and an open suffix, which is kind of wild. Because we can do a few different things with this. We can go... Not much with the prefixes, actually, because we've got the flat lightning and the spell. That actually blocks a lot, so not too much with the prefixes. These are all, like, attack damage, so they don't work. So, potentially we'd want to look at what might be able to be done in the future with the prefixes, so we'll come back to that. Suffixes, though, can get additional cast speed, 15, 18. That's an Exile, though. You can get lightning damage, but it's pretty meh. Crit chance for spells might be a top one for me. You can also get crit multiplier if there's a rare or unique enemy nearby. That also stacks with regular crit multi, too. Double damage is kind of okay. Pretty big spike damage with lightning. if you do that. I think we'd probably do crit strike chance for spells. Okay, literally bottom roll. Cast speed arcane surge. I might not have that one. There is a cast speed arcane surge. If I could get that on veiled mod, that would be pretty nice. A way to get arcane surge on an EB build is quite nice. We could always redo that though, because it is a suffix being cast speed for sure. That's a good one though. We would probably want to swap to that later. For now, I think the crit chance is probably fine. Except I'm going to go for a better roll than that. Oh, I went from literally bottom to literally top. 69 crit chance. Nice. So that's a pretty good base. And it still has an open prefix that we can't do much with mastercrafting. But potentially there's some fun stuff we could do with it. So Redeemer has... cold. So the cold pen stuff is going to be pretty waste. I think a lot of the prefixes weren't super amazing, unfortunately, for ones. Not for this. You can get extra added lightning to spells. I don't know whether you can get this in addition to the other flat lightning. I actually think you can. Probably nothing we'd want on hunters. So spell damage per int is pretty good. Kind of rare. Possible though, 68. If you adds lightning per int as well. Oh, Hunter's actually pretty good, as always. Hunter's suffix is unnerve, which is very good. Hunter's always pretty nice. God damn. If you actually got a pretty low item level wand, you could kind of abuse that fact to be likely to land either this or this. Because see how these are 78, 78, 80, 80? So if you're like 77 or below, you can only roll this or this with a Hunter's Orb. So you're guaranteed to get one of these two things. Damage to attacks per int. Oh, it's attacks. Ah, bummer. Bummer. Thanks for pointing that out. So Crusader is lightning damage to spells here, but it's also lightning damage to attacks. It's not really a lot. It's not really a lot. We could have a price check and see what a spell damage, pseudo total increased spell damage. In fact, we could even do it this way. Spell lightning. Oh, does it not work this way? Spell damage, lightning spell damage. That's the one. So we have, this is a 70. 780, easy. With cast speed. And flight lightning. Lightning damage to spells. Average is approximately, what's 95 half? It's like 40. 40. And crit chance to spells. 64. So what's a wand like that? There's a staves. There's a staves. Forgot the multi? Oh, I forgot the multi. Oh shit. That's gonna change things up a bit. Global critical strike multiplier of 34-ish. Yo, you're right. I forgot the multi. That's a big deal. Okay, there we go. One for 30C. And then 100C. Alright, never mind. Okay. There you go. Alright, with the crit multi on there all of a sudden. These are, keep in mind these are still ones that don't have the non-chaos as extra chaos. This is why going this route, especially with weapons, I find is really good with going incursion affixes and crafting them up. So I bought this one for 10C, did, what was it, 8 chaos to mastercraft it? 8 chaos and 2 scours to mastercraft it. And then it's probably 50 to 100C-ish wand now. Maybe a little bit more, keeping in mind that it doesn't include the Tacatis mod. Yeah, maybe 150-ish C. So another very, very fine example. I've shown that idea a few times, of the idea of like looking for items that are almost finished and just finishing them off, because sometimes the difference between an item that's like almost finished and finished is like... And there's just so many items on PoEtrade just sitting there waiting to be mastercrafted, and all of a sudden they're like way more valuable. And then sometimes if you're getting a little bit clever, you can do other stuff like, mastercraft plus like, you know, now an influence exalt or something. Or maybe like add a prefix, remove a suffix, a beastcraft. Sometimes buying items like that. Those are a little tricky to search for, but if you like have a bit of a look, be patient with your searching, you can find some pretty spicy stuff. Are you going to skin transfer the flower arms?
Absolutely.
Amy says yes. I'll go with what Amy says. Yay, flower forever! Flower forever! Yay!